morning. My name is Sergio Feitosa Costa. I am the author of the software switchgear design and presenter of this training about engineering concepts that are necessary to give a good use of the software. And the software allows to replace the initial tests that are necessary for the development of new products by simulations made in your own computer. These tests, when made in laboratory, are very expensive and are one big barrier for the manufacturers to develop new products. I worked 25 years in high power and high voltage testing laboratories, doing tests and also managing very big laboratories in Brazil at CEPEL. And over the last 20 years, I have been giving consultants work to many manufacturers all over the world to help them to develop new products. This training mixes some videos of the duration of 30 minutes with live sections in which I present the same concepts and take doubts. I hope to see you in our next training, and thank you very much. And I will present you a short resume of how this new web training works. We will start speaking about what switchgear design software is for. We show how the training works, and we'll show some screens with the input data and results just to give you an overall idea before the specific videos that will show about temperature rise, forces, and internal arc. The switchgear design software was created by me for the design of switchgear, switchboards, and busways, and by simulating the more expensive power tests of IC 62271-200 and IC 621439 series. I worked during a long time in testing laboratories doing such kind of tests, and I developed one simulator of these tests exactly to avoid that manufacturers have to go to the laboratory in the first steps of a development. You can do everything at your computer. It aims to facilitate the daily lives of manufacturers, certifiers, and testing laboratories by avoiding laboratory tests. It enables and speeds up developing new products and improving the existing ones. The use of laboratories is necessary, of course, but it happens only in the final type tests which are necessary to obtain a test reports that can be used for commercialization of the products. The types of tests that can be simulated, remembering that our objective is to predict the test results and eventually even to stand the validity of test reports performed in a certain type of equipment, which was tested, of course. Suppose that we can extend this validity to other equipment, more or less of the same family, but which was not tested. By doing these simulations, we can adjust the process and reduce the probability of not passing the test to almost zero. Then this is very good for the manufacturer to go to the lab almost right that the results will be good. The tests that can be simulated are the short time currents and crash withstand currents, which are the short circuit tests to verify the supportability to mechanical forces, to overheating under short circuit and things like this. The other test is the temperature rise test, which can be simulated, and this is a very important test because usually the temperature rise aspects are the main cause of the definition of bus bars and the main more onerous aspects of one equipment. And we can also simulate the internal arc test, checking the effects of the overpressures that occur during one internal arc. And we can even do the mapping of electric and magnetic fields inside the switchboard or switchgear, and also even incomplete substations. The types of equipment that can be simulated can be observed in this figure. Low voltage switchgear, like we have here, like we have somewhere here. Low voltage or medium voltage busways, medium voltage switchgear, like this one here. This here is another low voltage switchboard, and we can do with these figures practically more than 95% of the designs that are necessary in the daily life of a designer. We have experience of 20 years doing such kind of simulations for hundreds of manufacturers, and these figures here represent well what is more needed. And one very frequent question is, okay, but this figure is not exactly like my equipment. But in this case, trust me and use only these dimensions and this data that you do a perfect simulation of the real test that you would do in the laboratory. Here's one example of input data and results data screens. In the left side here, you can see the geometry of this here is a medium voltage switchgear. When the current comes here to the bus bars, pass in a circuit breaker, pass in one switch. You have here one bus bar, another switch here, another isolator here, and another bus bar. You can adjust all these dimensions in the yellow box, as I will show more ahead, operating the software. But this here, you can adjust everything. You can select the type of equipment for each equipment that you click in these buttons, a figure more or less like this will appear. You can select the type of test, electrodynamic force, electric fields, magnetic field, temperature rise, and so on. You have here a list of projects that you have in your database, and you can also create a new project here. To create is very easy. You select you select the one of the projects, click in this new button, and a new line will be created in the database, exactly like this one that you clicked, and then you can change the dimensions. You can change everything to have a new case inserted in your database. In this area here, you can put the dimensions of the bus bars. For each group of bus bars, you have many possibilities. You can do, let's say, you can put here these conductors here is made of one type of bar, this other here of another type of bar, even of a different material, and you can do this selecting this data in these boxes here that I will explain in many details in the other videos for temperature rise for the specific things. You can change here the materials like copper, aluminum. If I click here, as I will do more ahead, you can put here copper, aluminum. Okay? You can put other materials also. You can change the frequency, the enclosed material like steel, like aluminum, and there are several other possibilities. You can put ventilation or not in your panel, and here is clicked no. Then you see that we have a white area here, but if I click here, yes, it will appear here the size of the ventilation windows. If we have forced ventilation, you can give as input the speed of the air or the power of the fans or exhausters and so on. You can put here the most important thing for temperature rise usually is the resistance of the main switchgear, of the circuit breaker, of the switches and so on. And you can put these values here to represent exactly what would appear in the test there. Then, doing all of this, after doing this, you click a button results, and you will see one screen with the results. If you are doing a temperature rise simulation, you have a screen like this. If you are calculating electrodynamic force, you have one screen like this. If you are simulating internal arc, you have a screen like this as explained in Monoheads. But you can basically do everything you need, everything you could do in a test in a laboratory, you can do in a much cheaper and much more complete way here, because you can change all the design variables, all of them. And this is not possible to do in the laboratory, of course. It's possible, but it would be extremely expensive to do, because it would take so much time. Our web training, which is a new thing that I'm doing now, is composed of 4 live sections of 1 hour and a half, presented by me, and on live I do a presentation, do some, let's say, some 45 minutes of the previous video, which was assisted by the participant, and I do that presentation, repeat what is in the video, and the participants in the rest of the time can ask questions, can send me questions in advance, and can clarify all kinds of doubts. It's a very good way of doing. With 4 sections of 1.5 hours, we can do many things. Not only to teach how the software works, but to understand the concepts. Because if you do not have the concept of how to do these calculations, of the fundamentals of the design factors, you cannot analyze the data. You can put many numbers there in the software, you get one result, but you don't know if that thing is right or wrong. And this is what we teach here. We have the live sessions, we have the access to 4 videos, lasting each one more or less 30 minutes. I give the password for these videos, the person access the YouTube in a private video and assist for how many times, as many times as wish. And that video that was assisted, for example, in the 2nd week, in this live section, we will go again to the contents of it and to answer the questions about this. It's very practical. With a small time, you can really get very good results. Actually, in the past, before the pandemics, I was used to apply 2 days training in many companies all over the world. But of course, this is not anymore possible. And I think that even after the pandemics, it will be very rare to have that presential trainings, which are very effective, much more effective than everything. But each time they are more difficult to work, to do it. And also with the package of the training, we send to the participants one copy of the installer of the version for computer, complete version with all the possibilities of the software, and also we have with this all the instructions to install, and if the person by any reason has some difficulty in the installation, we help with this also. With after the training, in the first step, sometimes doubts can occur, and only have the person only have to write me or to call me, and we'll clarify everything to enable that person can walk alone just after the training. Here, just to remember, we have this desktop version which is complete, and we have, I put some months ago, web version of the software. It's the same software, do the same calculations, everything equal, with only the difference that you cannot save the projects, you don't have all these figures that are here in the desktop version, and I avoided to put all of them, not to hide the other case, to force the people to have the desktop version, because it would be very difficult to put all of these things here and to maintain the main object of the web version, which is to enable persons, which is free. There, you go there, you register your email, and use free, and you can use free, but the main object is to enable the persons to do some tests, to see the screens, and if they like, you can acquire this desktop version, which is very complete. And sure, if you are constructing one equipment with that costs something like $40,000 or $20,000, $30,000, $750, which is the cost of your training and the installer, is not so much. To run the program, I will open here the program as it was installed, and I will move through the screens. Let's then try to do a short view of the screens of switchgear design in real. Suppose that you received the installer, you installed following my instructions, and now you have here one icon of the switchgear design. I will just click this icon here, and then you can see the first screen, which is the input data screen. If you click in the several possibilities of equipment, this one of course is MVS11, the selected one is a medium voltage switchgear with 3 compartments. But suppose that I click here in this item, you have a complete substation. If I click here in this other item, you have one medium voltage panel. You have here many possibilities of equipment which corresponds to that figures that I showed you before. If I want to check to use a low voltage switchgear, I have this figure. For another kind of low voltage switchgear, a compartment with the drawers here and the vertical bus bars, I have here. If I want just a bus duct, I have here one bus duct. If I want, suppose BTS, a bus bar trunking system with the bus bars very close together, you have a figure here. With these figures, you can do whatever you wish. Most of the things that you need are here resumed. And then, after selecting the proper equipment, you can select one project. I will put one simpler here to facilitate us to see. I will put the medium voltage switchgear. And when I click there, if I select one project, I will select this first one. I can change all the values here just clicking and change. I will not change it to avoid to lose the numbers, but suppose I want to change this number here, I type there and I save here. If I want to create a new equipment, a new project, I select one, I will select this one. I will simply click in the new tab here, the new button, new, and then if you see, a new line was created in the table, in the database, and I can change here the name, my name, and I can change this and I can modify all the data all this data and the others that I will show you now to creating a new project for you. Then you see that we are here in the Put Data tab, as you see in the left side, the top left side of the screen. If I go here, I can change the several types of tests. For the moment, I will stay here in the electrodynamical forces. If I come here, I can change. Here I have the conductors number 1 to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this case here, are composed of 2 bars per phase of 63.5 millimeters by 10 millimeters. Okay, I want to change this by 15. Then I change here, I change to 15, I save, and it's okay. I change the dimension of bars 1 to 6. I will come back here to 10 to avoid losing the number in my database. Suppose now that I want that bar number 7 is different. Bar number 7 is this one here, is this horizontal bar. Then I can use another arrangement here, one bar of 100 millimeters by 10 millimeters. Okay, for the conductor materials, I can choose here copper, aluminum, even tin, silver, nickel tau. There are several other possibilities, but we know that the most used ones are simply aluminum and copper. But I can change as I wish. I can change the short circuit currents, which are relevant for the electrodynamical force. I can change the duration, and I can change the crest factor, because here, this screen is in this way here, because the selected type of test is electrodynamical force. If I, for example, if I click here, temperature rise, other things will appear which are relevant to temperature rise tests. But just to demonstrate the electrodynamic force, it's select, suppose that all the dimensions are okay, and then I come here I click in the tab results, here in the left side top, and then just doing this, I can see here the results of the force. The upper part here are the forces in the insulators in the 3 directions. I will show you in many details in the video number 2, video number 7, in one of the live sections, as we see in the table. But here is just to show, I have here the electrodynamic force. In the lower part, I have here the mechanical stresses along the bus bars. You see that I showed before, conductor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you click here the results, this is very interesting, because the horizontal line, you see here 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose that the 7 conductors are straight side by side as you are straightening a line. Then you can see what is happening in each point of each conductor, and you can simply see everything you need to analyze, in this case, analyze the mechanical stresses or the forces in the insulators, which can be in compression, in tension, or flexion. I will explain this in the training. But anyway, here you see the results. You can see also here the minimum required area for that short circuit currents that I typed in the previous screen, and for that duration, it was 31.5 kiloamps during 1 second. Here I have a calculation what is the minimum area, minimum cross-section area that I need to have in the earthing conductor, in the grounding bar, or things like this. Then I saw the results. Okay, I want to see also in 3 dimensions. you can, the best visualization that you have for these results are these ones, and I will explain in the training what is the meaning of these values, and if I get these values and I compare with the limits, how I can say that the equipment would pass or not in the test. I will explain this there. But now I just want to have a general view of the 3G equipment. I can see here that geometry that is represented by such dimensions, and I can here even see there is a scale here of forces that are actuating in each part of the bus bars. But of course, this is very beautiful to see, but the good way to visualize everything, to analyze data, and is simply using this chart here. Then this is for electrodynamic forces. If I wanted to do for temperature rise, I click here temperature rise, and in this case now I have some other variables. I have the bars as before, the materials. Now I have some extra things here which are important for the temperature rise test. If the bus bar covering, if the bars are bare or painted, I can select here what I want to use. The enclosing material. If there is ventilation or not. If I click here, there is no ventilation. I need only to put, I have only to put the right currents and the value, in this case here, of the resistance of the circuit breaker per phase. This is a very important data, because as we know, during temperature rise of switchboards and switchgear, usually the hottest points is in the connections of the bus bars to the circuit breaker or fuse or switch, things like this. But here I can insert the most important parameter, which is the resistance of the circuit breaker. The program alone suppose that there are some connections here between bus bars and put some internal values there. You don't need to take care of this. And then you have here the fluid. The fluid can be air, SF6. You can do the several possibilities. Then if you come here, I will put some ventilation. I will click here yes, and if I click yes in ventilation, I have here the vent area. Suppose that we have here in the top and in the bottom one ventilation area covered with one filter or things like this, just to permit that the air goes up in natural ventilation. No, I don't want natural ventilation. Natural ventilation is when I have one speed of the force in the air equal to 0. I want to put really a fan with a cubic mass of, in the example, suppose I will put one here, and I want to put a fan which will provoke one certain speed of the air. Then I can adjust these values here, and I can calculate the temperature rise test. And I just click here in the results, and I can see here the temperature. Remember, conductors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can see the temperature rise in any parts. See that this part here between conductor 3 and 4 is exactly the region of the circuit breaker. Then I can see all the temperature rise and compare these values with the values that are permitted in the IC standards. There is a table there of permitted values, and I can compare the values that occur in the simulation exactly as I would do in the real test. Then this is for the temperature rise test. I can see if the temperature is in several parts of the equipment. I can move here. I can do many things. And I can do the same for the other test. Magnetic field, I want to calculate the magnetic field inside the region of, by some reason. Okay, I will click here, magnetic fields. I will click results. And a calculation will be done showing in each part of the inside the enclosure the magnetic field in certain parts. Here I will not explain the details because it would take so much time to explain where these parts are, but you can see everything. Internal arc test. I want to simulate the overpressure of internal arc. I select here internal arc. Let me only go back here where I was before to avoid that I lose the information which was here. I save again. Then I click here in the internal arc, and then other parameters appear which are important for internal arc. For internal arc, we have the geometry of the compartments, and the consequence of the geometry are the internal volumes, which are automatically calculated. But when an internal arc occurs, the air which is inside, which is pressurized after the opening of the windows, they can go to other volumes that I call here V2 or V3. Let's suppose that here is the compartment, this one here. The overpressure windows open and the air goes to another compartment or to the external air. Then I would need some more time to give these explanations, but the fact is that after you do this, you can input all the relevant data, you click here again in the results, and then there is a more heavy calculation here, which is calculation of the pressure curve. With this calculation, with this pressure curve, the peak value of the pressure curve and the area under the pressure curve along the time, I can take these parameters that I'm calculating here to compare with some indicators that will tell me if the equipment would pass in the test or not pass in the test. And then for all the main tests, I can have a very easy and fast visualization. Try to imagine to do this in a testing lab. Okay, I will change the thickness of the plate to see what will happen. It would be impossible. But here you can do everything at one click. Of course, to put these values here, you need the experience of the designer. I will close the end software. I will close here. Just click here. Let's close it, and we finish the use of the switchgear design. And here at the end, this is the last slide. You have my contacts, the site of Cognito. In the lower part here, you have a very good set of free publications. This was what I would like to show you in this fast video. I thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you in some next training that we can have in the web. Thank you very much. See you.